Oh, hello. Welcome to another Minecraft video. And today we're looking at a hole in the ground, but this one's special. So we've got to flick this lever. And now it's a hole in the ground, except this is a staircase. So we can just go down, it can extend infinitely, maybe into a bigger hole, whatever you want. And then when we're done, we can just go back up, flick our lever, and it hides away. And it's pretty fast. For Bedrock Edition anyway. And then the redstone is pretty tiny, it's just this stuff here. So it's 4x6 blocks across, and then we go 5 blocks below the floor. So here's it with glass around it so we can see it a bit better. So if you can see here, we've got these two pistons push out. These pistons in the middle, they push a block up. So when we turn it off, they pull away into the wall. So they're out the way of this block here, which is also used to power the bottom pistons. Then for the next set, we have 2 pistons below the floor. So if we look here, there's pistons underneath, and then there's also some on top. So we've got these 2 sets of pistons, so when we turn those on, they get pushed up. So this one pushes that piston up, which pushes the block up higher. And then when we turn it off, pulls down the piston to there, the block gets pulled down 1 block, and then another block back down to there. Then finally, we just have 2 pistons at the back, powered by this redstone here. And they just push blocks up to the top and back down. So that's how we get a staircase. If you want to build a simpler version that uses way less resources, I've got a 1 wide version. That's the last video on this channel, but for now I'll show you how to build this version. Okay, and for the resources, I forgot to do the resources. Guess I'm going to wait to count resources. Okay, so for the resources, we're going to need 19 redstone dust, 6 redstone repeaters, 12 sticky pistons, 4 observers and 3 slabs, and then you'll also need a bunch of blocks to put the redstone on. I'm using wool, and then you'll also need your blocks around the door. So in terms of space, we've got this 4x6 area, and we go 5 blocks below the floor, so including the floor, it's 6 blocks of vertical height. And your door is at this front set of blocks like this. So if we went all the way up to the floor, this set of 6 blocks at the front middle is where the actual staircase is, and we just stick out 1 block at the back and 2 blocks on each side. The first thing we're going to do is place all our pistons in. So the first set, if we go to the blocks at the back, we go 2 blocks below them and do sticky pistons aiming upwards, so there's a gap above them. Then the next set, we go 2 blocks below these pistons, and in front of them we place 2 pistons aiming up next to each other like that. And then for our final ones, we're going to go 1 block in front of these, then 2 blocks on each side. And then we're going to do 2 pistons aiming to the middle on the outside edges, and then 1 aiming up on the sides. And we'll destroy those blocks. And those are all our pistons. So for our input, we're going to go around the back, and we just go all the way to the bottom. So 1 block below these double extenders in the middle, and we just place blocks like this. And then we've also got 2 on each side like that. We're going to do redstone on these ones like this. And this will push these blocks up to start with, but then we also need to delay them to keep them on a bit longer. So we do repeaters on their full delay like this on each side, and those go into blocks. If we turn this on now, the bottom pistons push up, but we need to power the top pistons, and we do that on top of some other stuff, so we'll do that first. So to power the pistons at the back, we're going to put 2 blocks behind them like this with redstone. Then if we're on the back, we go to the right and we just do a block going up with redstone, and then a slab with a redstone again. And the slab is just so the redstone can go up here and then up there, because otherwise a block would block it. So now we're going to deal with these ones that push the block sort of out and up. Okay, so the rest of it is kind of all jumbled together, so I can't really do it in neat parts. So we'll just go and show it. So firstly, the blocks the repeaters go into, we do a block to the side with redstone, then we do a block going up with a redstone, and then a block going across with a repeater. Then we have blocks that are part of the staircase, and those are powered to power the pistons when they get pushed out. So we'll do the same on the other side, the repeater with the redstone going down next to the block that repeater goes into. So this is the front now, and now we actually go above this redstone with an observer aiming upwards and then one aiming across. This will power these two pistons to pull the pistons back from there to there, as well as the block. But this one sticking to side will also power these two pistons in the double extender to pull their block down from here to here. So we do that on the other side as well. And the way we power these two pistons at the back is we just put a block on top of the observer aiming up with a redstone. So we do that on both sides. And then finally we just need to get power to this double extender when it's here. And also to these two pistons in the first place. So to get power to the piston when it's here to push the block up to here, we do a redstone repeater on top of the observer aiming sideways. And then one on the other side, so on top of this sideways observer to the middle. And to get power to that, we'll go to the back, take redstone up on the corner on this side as well, on top of a block, and then we do a slab with a redstone. And we do that on the other side as well, so from our redstone we put earlier, slab with redstone. The reason these are slabs is because redstone does not go down from a slab. So if I power all this stuff, it's not going down to all this stuff at the bottom, but redstone will go up to it from there. So that's why we need slabs. So now if we put all our blocks in, so I'll replace those with concrete actually, and we turn on this line of redstone at the bottom, at the back, we'll see all the pistons go in place. Then if we turn it off, it all goes away. And then you just fill in your blocks around the side. And in front. And obviously you'd hide away these pistons. And we've got a hidden staircase down to a room under the floor. And you can also just carry it on as a staircase, going further down if you want to. Forever and ever. So again, your input is just this line of redstone at the bottom here. So you could do this, for example. And then you just have to power it from the other side to close it as well. And if you want, you can also just place some blocks around the back, because that hides the redstone a bit better when it's closed and you're down here. So as you can see, sort of stops you being able to just see through it. But what if you want to power it with a button or a pressure plate or something else? So like a little pulse of redstone so that you can hide the things to open and close it. So to do that, you use two droppers, so one aiming upwards and one aiming across. These are droppers, not dispensers. Dispensers don't work. And a hopper into the bottom dropper. On top of the hopper, we do a comparator. This could also go out the side, any of the sides of the top or the bottom dispenser. And then you just need to power the top dispenser from one of the sides with a redstone repeater, so that could also be this side. But the most important thing is your comparator goes into a repeater, and then that can power your redstone contraption. And then if we send a pulse to this repeater powering the top dropper, after we remember to put an item in it, then the item will go into the hopper and the bottom dropper that's aiming up, and when we press it again, it goes back to the top, which will turn it on. So it'll switch between on and off from a pulse of redstone. So if we just go to our input over here, and we do the same thing, so I'll go a block backwards, do a dropper aiming up, and a dropper aiming across. Then we'll do a hopper into the bottom dropper, comparator into the repeater that goes into the redstone, and then we'll just, to the side, do a repeater aiming into top dropper, put an item in it, and then grab redstone leading to there, to some button. So we'll have one here in the ceiling, and then we'll also have one at the back here in the floor. So now if I press this, it will open, can go up, and then we can press this one to close it. Also, on a side note, if you want to download a world with all the builds that are in these videos, I mean maybe I miss one occasionally, but most of the builds are in these videos. That's in the description, there's a link to it. There's also a link to my Patreon where you can throw money at my dumb face. The benefit of that is mainly that I get to keep making videos and can support myself, but you can also get videos early, usually by 1 day. And other benefits may be coming in the future. Alright, hope you enjoyed and hope this was an easy fun thing to build. And I'll see you in the next one for whatever I build, probably a staircase of some kind. Because that's the trend at the moment, for me, in Minecraft. Hell yeah. Adios.